Stalling can be annoying, embarrassing, and sometimes a bit scary. Watch this video, I'm going to show you how to avoid it. So if you're stalling, the first thing you want to check is that you're actually in the correct gear. So gear 1 is the best gear for moving off. If you're in second gear or third gear and you're stalling, if you try again in that gear, you're probably going to stall again. So once you've stalled, make sure you go back into first gear to make sure that it's the right gear to move off in. The mistake that a lot of learners make is they bring the clutch up too high, beyond the biting point, and I'll show you what I mean right now, yeah? So this is going to be a controlled stall. So when I move off now, yeah, you see, I brought the clutch up way too high, too quickly, and then the car stalled. But what you want to start practicing is your car's biting point. Now each car's biting point is different. On this car, I'll show you, if I bring the clutch up to about there, you see the engine starts making a different noise, the engine starts revving a bit more. That's the biting point for this car, which means basically the engine is now transferring power to the wheels. That's the biting point, yeah? And the biting point is where the car will start to move as well. Yeah, a bit higher than that and the car will start to move. So if you practice getting your car's biting point, maybe on a quiet road, a quiet car park, just bringing your foot up and down like that, and then bring it there. And then what you don't want to do is bring it beyond that point too fast or too high. And I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to use the clutch for now for this technique. So when I'm ready to move up, once I've checked everywhere and that everywhere is safe, I'm going to bring my clutch just to the biting point and hold it still. Practice doing that, just hold it still and you see the car will move, and then that way it's not going to stall. An even better thing to do as well is to actually count to 3 in your head once your car starts moving. Once you get to the biting point, start counting to 3 before you release the clutch all the way, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to quickly check, make sure it's safe. So once I get to the biting point, 1, 2, 3, and then I can release the clutch smoothly. So as I'm counting to 3, I'm bringing the clutch up gradually. You notice I didn't rush the counting as well. Some of my learners that I've taught, when I'm telling them the technique, because they're so used to bringing the clutch up fast, they rush the clutch, they rush the counting as well. You want to count like a normal second, 1, 2, 3. That way you shouldn't stall. Another technique you can use is using the gas as well along with the clutch, which is what I teach, because this technique can also help you on hills as well. So this has got no handbrake there, it's just in gear, and I'm going to use the gas and the clutch together. Yeah. So once I get the gas between 1 and 2,000 RPMs, yeah, I can bring the clutch up again to the biting point and it will start moving. So 1, 2, 3. So this is basically the same technique, but this time it's just got a bit of power in the background to help it out, which makes it less likely to stall. So with using the gas as well, you're less likely to stall. So even if I was to do it a bit too quick, and if I've got the gas on in the background, so it's between 1 and 2,000 RPMs, now if I was to do it too quick, it'll still not stall because I've got the gas in the background. Although it wasn't as controlled as I want it to be because I brought the clutch up too fast, it still didn't stall. Another technique is to use the handbrake technique, yeah? So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to bring my clutch to the biting point with my handbrake on. And when I do that, you see the car doesn't move, but the engine still changes the noise because it's trying to move, but the handbrake is holding it. Yeah, so right now it's trying to move, but it's at the biting point, it's trying to move, but the handbrake's not letting it move. And if I bring up too high though, we have to be careful with this technique, because if I bring up too high beyond that, it will still move because the handbrake can only hold it so much. Once it gets to the biting point and the engine noises change and you can see the car raise a bit at the front there, don't move your clutch anymore, keep it still. Then once you're ready to move, all you need to do now, let's say you've got the gas on as well, all you need to do now is just release the handbrake and keep your foot still. Because the power was already there from before, the car's going to start moving and you're not going to stall. So that way you don't have to do too much work once you're ready to move off. So I'll show you again. So clutch down, getting into first gear, the handbrake's already on. I'm going to put my clutch to the biting point, yeah. Then once I'm ready to go, all I need to do then is just release the handbrake, and you see the car will start to move. I'm not moving my clutch because I was already at the biting point, so I don't need to move it anymore. Then once I'm ready to stop, I can put my clutch down and brake. A lot of learners have it in their head that they're going to fail the test if they stall. That's not the case. Depending on how you deal with it, the examiner is going to determine whether it's a minor fault or a serious fault. So I'm going to show you how to deal with it properly if you do stall, so that doesn't turn into a serious fault. So I'm going to stall on purpose just so I can show you. So I'm going to get into gear. Let's say I'm trying to move off now, and then my car has stalled. So what I want to do, I can see straight away, I can see some red lights on the dashboard. The car has stalled. Normally what I'll do straight away is put my clutch down, but you see nothing has happened. So all I need to do then is just secure my car by putting my foot on the brake, and then turn the engine on and then back on again. I'm already in first gear, and then I can do my checks. If I was on the road, I wouldn't need to do too many checks to check my mirrors, and then do the same thing I showed you before and then move off. What you don't want to be doing when you're stalled is panicking. That's where people go wrong. So I'll show you an example. So you might stall and then you're like thinking, oh, and then you're taking too long to deal with it. Really, the first thing you should do is put your clutch down and brake. That way, if you've got stop start, usually it will start again. And then when you put your brake on as well, the car's secured, it's not going anywhere. And then what you want to do is determine what gear you're in. Am I in the wrong gear? Is that why I've stalled? Right now, if you're not sure whether you're in gear 3 or 2 or 1, sometimes you can't tell, just take it out of gear and put it back in gear again. So this way you know now you know for certain it's not the gear that was the problem, it was the way you dealt with the clutch, yeah? And then the next thing you want to do once you've done all that is turn it off and then restart it again. So sometimes learners will try to turn the key from there. It's not going to turn on. You need to turn it off fully first and then turn it back on all the way, and then make sure that no one's overtaken us, and then off the brake, and then do the same thing I showed you earlier. Get to the biting point, 1, 2, 3, and you're off. So I'm going to show you how to do all that in real time if you're stalled and how to sort it out. So let's say I'm in gear and I'm about to move off and then I've stalled. Yeah, I'll put my clutch down, brake, the engine's not back on, so I'm going to put it back on again, make sure that it's actually in gear 1, which it is, check my mirrors, okay, it's all good, and then bring my clutch up. I'm taking my time this time because the reason I stalled before was because I rushed, and now I can move off smoothly.